is about the glories and the beauty of Krishna. And there's another song which is Kunkumakta Kanchanabja. That song is describing the beauty and the glory of Srimati Radharani. So this competition between Shuka and Sari goes on. So we'll sing this song today about Krishna, Krishna's beauty. अम्बुदाञ्जनेन्द्रनीला निन्दिकान्ति डम्बरा कुङ्कुमोद्यत् अर्कविद्युत् अंशुदीव्यत् अम्बरा श्रीमदङ्ग चर्चितेन्दु पीतनाक्त चन्दना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना गण्डताण्डवाति पण्डिताण्ड जेशकुण्डलश्चन्द्रपद्म षण्डगर्व खण्डनस्य मण्डला बल्लवीषु वर्धितात्मा गूढभाव बन्धना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना नित्यनव्यरूपवेश हार्दकेली चेष्टिता केलिनर्म शर्मदायि मित्रवृन्द वेष्टिता स्वीय केली काननांशु निर्जितेन्द्र नन्दना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना प्रेम हेम मण्डितात्मा बन्धुताभिनन्दिता क्षौणिलग्न भाललोकपालपालि वन्दिता नित्यकाल सदृश विप्रगौरवाली वन्दना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना लीलयेन्द्र कालियोष्ण कंसवत्स घातकस्तत्तदात्म केलिवृष्टि पुष्टभक्तचातक वीर्यशील लीलयात्मा घोषवासी नन्दना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना कुञ्जरास केलिसीधु राधिकादितोषणस्तत्तदात्म केलिनर्म तत्तदालिपोषण प्रेमशील केलिकीर्ति विश्वचेत्तानन्दना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना रासकेलिदर्शितात्म शुद्ध भक्ति सत्पथा स्वीयचित्र रूपवेश मन्मथालि मन्मथा गोपिका सुनेत्र कोण भाववृन्द गन्धना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना पुष्पचाय राधिकाभिमर्श लब्धितर्षिता प्रेमवाम्य रम्य राधिकास्य दृष्टिहर्षिता राधिको रसिहलेपा एषा हरिचन्दना स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना अष्टकेन यस्त्वनेन राधिकासु वल्लभां संस्तवीति दर्शनेऽपि सिन्धुजादिदुर्लभाम् तं युनाक्तिदुष्टचित्ता एष घोषकारणे राधिकाङ्गसङ्गनन्दितात्मपाद सेवने स्वाङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना साङ्घ्रिदास्य दोस्तु मे स बल्लवेन्द्र नन्दना. We'll read the translation. His abundantly beautiful complexion belittles the splendor of combined rain clouds, black eye cosmetics, and sapphires. His garments appear effulgent like a rising sun, tinted like kumkum, vermilion, powder enhanced by shining bolts of lightning. His perfectly formed limbs are anointed with sandalwood paste mixed with camphor and saffron. May Sri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me his service of his own lotus feet. He wears shark shaped earrings that dance very expertly upon his cheeks. The beauty of the orb of his face destroys the pride of the multitude of moons and lotus flowers. He causes the knot of his own secret ecstatic love moods to increasingly tighten amongst the gopis. May Shri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me the service of his own lotus feet. He is eternally engaged in designing ever fresh variations of his youthful form, mode of dress, and loving pastimes. He is surrounded by the assembly of his cowherd boyfriends who excel in giving him delight by their playful, joking words. Even a single brilliant ray of splendor from his personal pleasure forest defeats the heavenly Nandana gardens of Lord Indra. May Shri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me the service of his own lotus feet. He is delighted by the friendship of his devotees, whose consciousness is decorated with golden ornaments of pure love for him. He is praised by great demigods who protect various planets in the universe and offer obeisances to him by touching their foreheads to the ground. He honors the Brahmanas with great reverence at specific times of the day. May Shri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me the service of his own lotus feet. He easily removed the pride of Indra as well as the violent anger of Kaliya, and he killed the demons like Kamsa and Vatsasur. With the rainfall of these variegated pastimes, he nourished the Chataka birds who are his devotees. By performing his pastimes of heroic nature, he delights the residents of his own cowherd community. May Shri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me service at his own lotus feet. He satisfies Sri Radhika and the other gopis with the nectar of the sportive rasa dance performed in the groves of Vrindavan. During the various intrigues of these amorous pastimes, he devises many playful jokes to sustain the assembly of the gopis. He thus delights the minds of all people in the universe by the glory of his loving pastimes. May Shri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me the service of his own lotus feet. By revealing his pastimes of the festive rasa dance, he also shows the eternal path of his pure devotional service. By his amazing beauty and fascinating mode of dress, he churns the minds of a vast multitude of cupids. Through the outer corner of his eyes, he casts sidelong glances aimed at the gopis that give hints of a host of affectionate, ecstatic moods. May Sri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me the service of his own lotus feet. He becomes excited by the desire by suddenly touching Shirarika while she is busy picking flowers. Then he becomes jubilant when he sees her charming face decorated with the contrariness of pure love. Verily is the sandalwood paste that decorates Srimati Radharani. May Sri Krishna, the son of the king of the cowherd men, grant me the service of his own lotus feet. It is very difficult for Lakshmi Devi and the exalted demigods and goddesses to attain even a glimpse of Sri Krishna, who is so very dear to Sri Radhika. But if someone glorifies him by reciting these 8 verses with full attention, then he who is delighted by the intimate association of Radhika will become pleased with that person and engage them in the service of his own lotus feet within the cowherd forests of Goloka Vrindavan. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj ki jai.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. So I'll
Thank,
stop sharing.
thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Such a beautiful song, and so very nicely sung. And I'm just echoing Lalita Priya Mataji's, appreciation of how you did that. So beautifully sung. And I assume it must be must have been very difficult to sing also with a high pitched voice.
Yes,
Thank
early
you, Lalita.
morning the voice also doesn't pick up.
You did so beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome back. So, before we begin, let's offer our prayers to, to the divine couple, Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all his devotees. Hare Krishna. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोविष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सादवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः O most beneficent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden complexion of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sangopangostra Parshadam Yagnahi Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Su Medasah. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sing the names of Sri Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Nana Sastra Vicharnaika Nipuno Shadadharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuane Manyo Sharanya Karo Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Anandena Mattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, named Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizing and studying all the revealed scriptures for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narom Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai Shri Govinda Mahadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Hare Krishna. So we got a lot of things to do today. First, we'll review chapter 31. Actually, part of 31 chapter is coming from lesson 30 that we did, and I couldn't complete that. So part of it, Archana Mataji is going to review, and then I will take the halfway onwards, particularly those appendix in lesson 3, chapter 31, lesson chapter 3 actually. So let me first share my screen. Mataji, if it's all right if I show the PowerPoint, because I'm going to be doing part of it,
Yes, Prabhu. You can share, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Give me a minute. Okay, so this is lesson 31, but as I said, it's continuing from lesson 30, chapter 2. So here is the rundown. The first two themes, first one is Sri Balaramji, who is transferred to Rohini's womb from that of Devaki, and that are the first 15 verses are there. And then he also did verse 16 to 24 also. I remember later on, as I was studying, Shri Krishna's Amsha entered into Vasudev's mind, who meditatively transfers him into that of Devaki. And remember, if you remember, at that time, Kamsa was contemplating while Devaki was pregnant with Krishna to kill Devaki, particularly the fetus. but then he checked himself and decided against. So we'll see what are the reasons by which he decided against that evil thought. And then the hymn of Brahma in the Deva, that I decided not to do it. Basically, it's a Purusha Shukta prayers, But this last part, appendix, that's quite significant. So I decided to do that. And I was debating on that, but I think we should do it. So this is about the Mukhya Prana, which is the really very, very important topic actually. And then we'll see 2 material Kriya Shaktis and 2 transcendental Kriya Shaktis in that, and how this Mukhya Prana is the life force. Also, the prana itself originates from that. And the prana is Brahman that we learned actually, if you remember Mandukya Upanishad, So everything is Brahman. Okay. So let me make the full slide. Everybody can see my slides, right?
Yes, Bhaiji.
Okay. So the first 15 verses, the summary. Mataji, you want to begin from this point onwards?
Okay, bro, I can start.
Yeah.
First, let me offer my obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees assembled here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vipasindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavabhyo. Please bless me so that I can conduct it nicely and according to the desires of Charu Prabhu. And if
Mataji, you are wonderful, always wonderful.
if I make any mistakes, please guide me and excuse me.
Actually, I need to learn from you.
No Prabhu.
Okay,
Please.
go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead, because we have little time.
So, so we see here in this slide, we see that how Kamsa actually is a tyrant and is oppressing the Yadus and many others. So the Yadus are slowly leaving uh, the Kamsa's kingdom, going and seeking shelter elsewhere. So we see over here how powerful he is. So I want to know if anybody can tell me on what basis was Kamsa so powerful?
Good question. That's a very good question.
Yes,
Anybody
Mataji, may
wants
I?
to volunteer? Yes, please.
Yes, because he is protected by his father-in-law Jarasan.
Good.
That's why he is very much powerful.
Very
Who was his father-in-law? Who was his father-in-law?
Jarasan.
Yeah. So he married 2 daughters of Jarasandha, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
And do you know the names of these 2 daughters?
Asti Prapti.
Yes,
Very
very
good.
good. Asti and Prapti.
So wonderful. Go ahead, Mataji.
So, very nice. This was the answer. Also, he was supported by anyone can continue. So he
Yes,
was
yes,
also
Mata.
supported.
Supported by demons like Pralamba, Baksura,
Putana. All the Asura.
yes,
Yes, very
Maksura.
good. So they were also very powerful Mayavi mystic. Uh, yes, so they were also very powerful and they were constantly supporting him. So with their support, he became very prominent, powerful.
And
Also,
many of these asura demons that later on he'll be sending to Gokula to kill baby Krishna also, that we'll see.
try to kill Krishna, yes. So I also have one more question in this regard. So as I said, the Yadus, they were all fleeing from this place and they were taking shelter in other dynasties like Bhoja, Andaka, sorry, not Bhoja, Bhoja was Kamsas. So Andaka and other dynasties, they were taking shelter there. So I want to know, there were some who stayed back, and I would like to know who was one of the prominent such stayed back nominal friends of Kamsa who acted like a friend of Kamsa. Anybody?
Akrurji.
Very
Yes,
good. And
very
that
good.
what was the strategic reason for that? He had a specific reason for that.
Yes, he want to see the activities of Lord Krishna वहां पे रह के उनको देखना था कि कंस कैसे सब करता है, और उनको वो भी देखना था कि कृष्णा कैसे सब चीजों को एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं.
And what were the all the he was basically spying on Kamsa also. What was his planning, how he was going to do all these things. So he used to transmit those messages to
Like a
Gokula
spy.
also.
He
Yeah.
wanted to be like a spy.
So Vasudevji used to transmit all this uh, intelligence gathering by Akruji, transmitting to Nanda Baba, so they could be prepared for that. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, so now the time has come where the Shadgarbhas have been already killed by Kamsa, and now the time has come for the seventh child. Devaki is also pregnant, so there is this here now Yogamaya comes into picture, where Krishna is giving specific instructions to Yogamaya how to transfer the seventh embryo from Devaki to Rohini, who is another wife of Vasudev. So, what were these instructions and in what conditions did the transfer take place? So, there are two questions. What were the instructions, specific instructions given by Lord Krishna to Yogamaya, and in what conditions did this transfer take place? That means, what was the conditions at that time?
Let's say somebody else could volunteer answering their questions.
So maybe one
Anybody?
question at a time. One person can answer. What were the instructions? What were the specific instructions given by Lord Krishna? How to transfer the seventh embryo to Yogamaya?
To transfer the embryo from womb of Devki to womb of Rohini.
Yes. How? How he wanted them to do? How to transfer the seventh embryo? You have to tell
Mm,
the situation, what happened, and how the how where was Rohini, and where was Devaki, and
He
why.
ordered he ordered Yogamaya to take birth from the womb of Yashoda, and
Yashoda? Okay. That is later, Mataji. Now we are talking about the seventh embryo.
mm. So
okay, okay.
Rohini was of course, in Gokul or Vrindavan, and Devki is in Mathura in present. I am not able to recollect what conditions. I mean,
Okay.
such that they should not come to
I
know.
just wanted to know whether how will it be like, for example, if Rohini is in Gokul, okay, and Devaki
Mm,
is in Mathura, okay. So, uh, if suddenly Rohini becomes 7 months pregnant, it will look very funny, right? I mean, how from
mm.
where did she get? So what was that condition? What happened actually?
Mataji,
How?
may I try?
Mataji, 1 minute. Let somebody.
Okay.
I know you know the answer. Anybody else?
Apparently, Hare
Rohini
Krishna,
was already
I can
pregnant.
say. Yeah,
Yeah, Radha Vinod Prabhuji, go ahead.
yeah. So that time Rohini was in Mathura. That's my understanding, and she was also pregnant up the 7 months. So it
So
was
it was
just
Vasudevji
yeah,
impregnator, right? Yeah.
yes, yes. She was apparently pregnant at that time.
Both Devaki and Rohini simultaneously.
Rohini were pregnant.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So why was she sent to Gokul then?
But that is to be protected from the Kamsa's.
Yes, because
Yes, good answer.
Vasudev was thinking that anything can happen. Kamsa's demoniac nature was there, so he may even think that this child also could kill him, and then he would try to kill that child
Mm,
also. And
mm.
therefore, when the Shadgarbhas were killed by Kamsa, Vasudev was perturbed, and he sent Rohini, who was also 7 months pregnant, to Gokul for safekeeping with Nanda Baba, so that nothing should happen to her child. So therefore, when this transfer took place, so therefore there was no mistaken
Surprise.
thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not surprised or whatever. There was no problems. Okay,
Then what happened? Yogamaya had a different plan. What happened that? And that was according to the instruction from
Krishna.
Lord Krishna. What was the plan? And what was the reason?
Okay, we will come to it in the next slide,
Okay.
maybe after some time.
Actually,
This
we
is,
did that.
yeah, this is
Yeah, go ahead.
because again I'm going through in this
Okay, go ahead.
question paper.
Continue.
So till now this is fine. So the next slide is about what were the three names given to the son of Rohini. Now, so Rohini is already given birth to Shesha, none other than Balaramji, and there were three names given to him. So and
Sankarshana.
Sankarshan Ram.
No, that is no. Wait. That is afterward. So before there is something happened. What happened?
uh, uh,
Remember that we discussed. She was already pregnant 7 months, and that was the embryo that was impregnated by
okay,
Vasudevji.
we
But
finished
then
with
what
why
was
she
the
was sent to Gokul, right? So I will delete this question. Okay, so okay, I'll ask another way. Um, what happened to Devaki when the embryo she was carrying was transferred?
She had an apparent miscarriage kind of a situation.
Yes, and
very good?
everybody in the palace started shouting.
Alas, Devaki, lost the child, so what to do, kind of,
Yes,
morose situation.
yes, correct, very good. So everybody thought that she had lost her child, and then what happened exactly in Gokul when Yogamaya was transferring? She has got this duty of transferring the embryo from uh, Devaki to Rohini. So what happened to Rohini? Anybody can explain this?
She looked more effulgent.
And not that, because she
So
already was pregnant, right?
she was tired and exhausted, and she fell asleep,
Yes,
and and then suddenly she had, like how pregnant women have their the track broken, and when the child arrives, so
yes,
she fell asleep, and then her child fell on the ground,
yes,
uh,
yes,
That
like she
that was
delivered
a
the baby basically. Yeah.
yes,
that was miscarriage, right?
yes, yes, correct. So that's what she dreamt, like that, but it actually happened, and then she was very perturbed and worried. So what happened then? Somebody came to console her.
Mm.
The
Lakshman,
yoga
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
yoga nidra yoga nidra told her that, no, you will have a son, don't worry.
yes, very good, excellent.
And his name will be Sankarshan.
Yes, yes,
Good. Very good, Mataji.
very good, excellent. So I would also like to know the significance of the word amsha bhagena.
Very important question.
Amsha bhagena. Raksha Mataji, you can try.
And remember, it's a loaded question. We are going to be talking about when we do chapter 31 also, lesson 30, chapter 3. So, and we talked about it. So, Rakshamata, you want to take a shot at it?
Yes, sir. प्रभु जी, अंश भागेना मीन्स स्वयं का एक अंश. Balram ji.
May I tell, Mataji?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, Bhaiji.
Actually, Balram is the aunt of Lord Krishna.
Yes.
So
Amsha
I think
Bhagena. There's two words. Amsha is correct. Bhagena. Amsha Bhagena.
uh,
Kind of shared between the two mothers.
Yeah.
Like my Amsha, my expansion, like you will become the son.
First expansion.
Yeah. The son of Devaki and also, yeah,
Son of
Like Swayam Prakash.
like
Yashoda.
yes, correct. So the significance is that it's Krishna's Amsha only, isn't it? It's Krishna's Amsha only. Uh, is an expansion, the first expansion of Krishna, and he's also as powerful as Krishna. There's no difference between Krishna and Balaram. Even when uh, Prabhupada says, he says that there's no difference between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is their color. He says that. So, Prabhu, Charu Prabhu, would you like to elaborate on this point, or maybe
This is
later?
a this is a very loaded question. There are so many parts in it, and it has something to continue in the next
Okay,
chapter
then
also.
we'll
But
wait for that.
I'll bring that point along with that. Remember, there's a difficulty in explaining about it, because in the verses, if you notice, it
Yes,
says that Krishna said to Yogamaya,
yes,
Amsha of my Amsha, right?
yes. Amsha. Hmm.
Amsha Amsha. And then when it was declared, Lord Balramji to Rohini, that this, and when it actually happened, it came a declaration that this particular expansion, he is going to come with completeness. Okay. Uh, So on one hand, we can understand from Krishna's point of view that Balramji was Amsha of an Amsha. Remember Balramji, and then Balramji, which Amsha actually enters there. Um, then, so that is Sankarshana. But then, even the Vishnu portion that happens, that also is, there's a statement, he's completely as his own. So how do we understand that? Because that Vishnu portion is actually the Amsha of Amsha of Krishna, and Balramji's Amsha is there are three Purusha expansion. I'll give the hint of that. Which particular expansion actually gets there in Rohini's way? What particular expansion? Um, that will be connected with Devaki also. We'll see that. Okay, why don't we do it when we do that portion of it in that chapter? Okay, because it's loaded question. So many parts are there in that. So
Okay,
Amsa Bhagena, it has to be explained quite clearly about that. Okay, we'll talk about it later. So let's, for this
okay,
part, we'll continue.
okay. For this part, this is enough. Okay. So now we can, if you wish, we can talk about the three names given to son of Rohini and what are the reasons, because he got different names, and the reasons are mentioned in Harivamsha Purana. So anybody would like to take a Ramya Mataji? Would you like to say?
Sankarshana, because he was transferred from one place to another. The other I'm not very sure, Mataji.
Sankarshan. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
See, right there
Sankarshan.
in the slide it is there. See that slide is in front of you.
His second name is Ram.
Yes.
He
What
Correct.
he
is the
will give
significance?
Because he was
delight
very
people on
powerful.
earth.
Yeah.
सबको आनंद देने वाले.
And
Yes.
the third,
Because of
And third one is Bala, because he will be stronger than the strong.
good.
yes,
Balaram.
Balaram. Balaram
Yes.
is Sankarshan, Balaram, and
Ram.
okay. Some will call him Sankarshan because he was pulled out, and some will address him as Ram because he will delight the people of the earth, and Bala because he was stronger than the strongest. Yes, this was three.
Even Balabhadra is also the name.
Yeah, Balabhadra, Baladeva.
Yeah.
Baladeva also is there because he will be uh, delighting everybody by giving them Krishna Prem, talking about Krishna. So he will be attracting them towards Krishna. Therefore, is also called as Baladeva and Balabhadra also, and
Okay, then.
also Shesha. So we'll talk about.
So I changed the slide now because this part you already discussed about it, right? Yoga Nitra reminding her when she had a
Yeah.
miscarriage, don't worry, you are going to have a son. You know?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Sri Krishna's Amsha entered into the Vasudev's mind. Okay, go ahead, continue that.
Okay.
Do you want to do it, Mataji, this one?
Pardon me. Yes, I will. I will start now.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So now we want to know about, now this has happened. Balramji has taken birth. Now we are going to talk about the appearance of Lord Krishna. So, how did Lord Krishna appear in the womb of Devaki? That is the question. How did he appear? What all happened? Of course, Yogamaya was given the duty also there. So we want to know about that. We also want to know about what happened to Vasudev ji and what happened to Devaki ji.
He first appeared in the mind of Vasudev.
Little louder, please.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, he first appeared in the mind of Vasudev, in mind and heart,
Huh.
Very good.
and then from there he then transferred to womb of Mother Devaki.
The mind
Not
of
transferred. Yeah, yeah.
transfer in the mind of Devaki.
Yes, mind.
Mind or heart, mind's
to heart,
seat
yeah.
is there in the heart actually.
Heart to heart.
Yeah.
So that's how usually Krishna comes in almost all the incarnations. You see that that's how exactly how Krishna comes. It's not by the way through the normal way a woman get pregnant, not by
Yes.
sexual these things. And that portion will again revisit that. Okay.
Okay, then we'll come to another question. The question is, what blessing did Yogamaya get from Krishna? Because she was also supposed to take part in this Leela. That also has to be told by somebody before I ask this question. Sorry. I only talked about Vasudev, how Vasudev transferred into the heart of Devaki uh, the presence of Lord Krishna. But then, what was the role of Yogamaya there? Yogamaya also got instruction from Krishna. Anyone knows about this?
Yogamaya got instructions from Krishna that you will be called by so many
No, that is the
names.
second. Sorry, Mataji. That was the second answer to the second question. But what was the instruction she got? That is a blessings, no, which you are telling. Correct. That is correct for the next question. I just by mistake I asked the question beforehand. Uh, can you just tell me what instructions first she got from Krishna? What she should do?
Mother, she was asked to take also birth from
Correct. Very good. She was
Sudamaya.
also
Yeah.
asked to take
Yeah.
birth
Very important point.
from Mother Yashoda's womb. Yes, correct. So Krishna and Mother and Yogamaya both will simultaneously appear in the womb of Mother Yashoda, and for this she will be blessed. Okay, so what was the blessing she would get? Yes, Rajkumari Mataji.
Oh, you will be called by so many names, Kali or yeah, Durga, or बहुत सारे names.
Yes, Vaishnavi and all that. Yes. So she will be called Alda and she'll be worshipped. That is the blessing. She will be worshipped like that throughout the world. Yes.
माता जी ऐसा भी है कि कृष्ण भगवान ने कहा था कि मेरे से भी लोग तुम्हें ज्यादा पूजेंगे, मेरे से भी आपकी ज्यादा पूजा होगी.
इसमें तो नहीं लिखा है, पता नहीं, होगा.
अच्छा.
So that is very nice. So
Sita is on this slide, right in the center middle of it. You see
yes,
the Srila Jiva Goswami's comments here.
yes,
He manifested in her as her son. He does not take birth like a Jivas do. And the Sanskrit word is called Ajana. He's unborn, but he still appear to take birth, So, but that is not by the way Jivas do. Only the manifestation is said to be the birth of the Lord,
yes.
Okay, continue.
That was
Now
the.
we'll have to
that was the
hurry
answer.
up, okay, Mataji? We'll have to hurry up.
Okay. So now we will go to what happened to Devaki when the embryo she was carrying was transferred. I think we finished this one. Yes, we finished this one. Sorry. Okay, there's a short, small question. Why is there a rivalry between Vaishnavas and Shaktas? Connected to this, just now the question I asked. Okay, this was not mentioned in the slide, but it is connected to this question. Why? What are the blessings Yogamaya got from Krishna? That she'll be worshipped throughout the universe, right? So, why is there is a rivalry between Vaishnavas and Shaktas? Shaktas means worshippers of Devi.
माता जी जो वर्शिपर ऑफ देवी होते हैं उनको जो पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉडेड के बारे में मालूम नहीं है, वो सिर्फ माता शक्ति को ही पूछते हैं. और
हाँ.
वैष्णव जो होते हैं वो भगवान को पूछते हैं और वो भगवान की शक्ति के बारे में भी उनको मालूम होता है.
हाँ.
मगर जो वैष्णव होते हैं वो फाइट नहीं करते, मगर जो शाक्तास होते हैं वो फाइट करते हैं क्योंकि उनको मालूम नहीं है भगवान कौन है. वैष्णव नोज वेरी वेल के दोनों भगवान के एक शक्तिमान है.
हाँ. तो ये
दूसरी बात है कि Shakta Bhaktas, there's always something in return for material benefit, material wishes are there, right?
हाँ, राइट.
yes.
महामाया जो है वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में एंटेंगल करते हैं और जो भगवान को जो पूछते हैं वो भगवान उनको महामाया से दूर करते हैं.
Yes, very nice. So another question is, who was Paurnamasi?
That we discussed in our course in Gopal Champu, remember?
Yogamaya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Yogamaya.
Yes.
Paurnamasi is Yogamaya. In this Leela, she has a relation with someone. Anyone knows?
Yeah, Sandipani Muni,
Yes.
mother
Who
of
was she?
Sandipani Muni.
She was the
Mother.
Very good. She was the mother of Sandipani Muni. So she must be in Avanti, right? At that time. So she was not there in Braja at that time.
Later she functions as Yogamaya.
She functions as Yogamaya. Later on, she is directly coming to Braja and she will directly deal with all the pastimes of Krishna and Radharani.
We discussed at great length in Gopal Champu.
Yes, correct. So,
Okay,
one more small question about what is the difference in the moods of Devaki, Rohini, and Mother Yashoda? What is the difference in the moods of Devaki, Rohini, and Mother Yashoda? Sanjeev Prabhu, I think your mic is on. Yes. So the question here was, what is the difference in the moods of Devaki, Rohini, and Mother Yashoda? Anybody would like to try?
Dev,
Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
Devki considers Krishna as in Aishwarya Bhav as a god, and Yashoda as a Vatsalya Roop.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you, Mataji. So, what does Harivamsha say about the experience of Rohini? I think we finished this. Yeah, sorry, we finished this question. I'll ask another question. If Shesha is an expansion of Balaramji, then why worry about Kamsa? Why worry about what Kamsa, how Kamsa will, why Kamsa will kill him and all that? Why everybody was so worried? Why were the Vasudev, Devaki, and Rohini, everybody was worried? No, that's why Rohini was transferred to Gokul. And here, when she was pregnant, she was also worried. If they knew that Balaramji is only appearing, why were they worried about Kamsa killing the baby like that? What was the reason?
Because of Vatsalya Prema.
Yes, because of Vatsalya, what happens?
They
You're
forget.
you're very much worried about the mothers are very loving towards their sons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't
So
matter the position of son. Yeah.
Krishna and Balaram,
But Vatsalya Prema dominates.
yes,
That rasa dominates.
they worried about the dangers. Very good.
Thank you, Mataji.
So, what changes took place in Vasudev during the appearance of Krishna? Okay, I think we did discuss a little bit on this, but if anybody can tell me, how did Devaki appear when Lord Krishna was within her womb?
She's so bright, okay, effulgent, and all that.
Very,
There's a lot of discussion is given, Mataji.
yes, Prabhu, Prasad Prabhu.
She's very unique and different. Yeah. Can clearly identify.
Can you give two examples? How was she looking? She was looking like some two examples.
She has a glow, Mataji, in
Yes,
entire her body. Yeah, that is
yes,
one.
because like the flames, like an analogy. Any analogy?
Analogy.
Like, do you remember how she was like the flames? Is there in the slide? If you can read.
And her mind was full of always.
Yeah, but
बहुत खुश, मतलब एक तरह से
you see in the verse number 19 here, you can see in the slide itself, she was like the flames of a fire covered by the walls of a pot. And another example is given, like a person who has knowledge but cannot distribute it to the world. So these were the answer I was looking for. Anyway, it's there in the slide. Shloka number 19. Slide number 4. Okay. Uh, what were the reasons that Kamsa did not kill Devaki? There were some reasons
She's
why.
devotee of Shakti, Mataji.
Yes.
Kamsa has not killed Devaki. It is because she's gave a birth of girl child, and that girl itself is like a Devi. Okay, she has 8 hands. Yeah.
No. When
No,
she was
that
pregnant,
comes.
Prabhu, I'm talking about
Oh,
when
pregnant.
when she was
Okay.
pregnant,
See,
he wanted
see,
to kill
there's
the embryo of Devaki or kill Devaki, but he did not do so. There was some
If you
reason.
see the slide, in the slide that was there already in front of you.
Yes.
यस माताजी, कंस ने वो सोचा कि अगर मैं कंस हूँ, मैं बड़ा सा राजा हूँ, और
Yes.
मैं क्यों ऐसे एम्ब्रियो को क्यों मारूं? मैं मारूंगा तो कृष्ण को मारूंगा तो कुछ बनेगी बात, हम
Yes.
एक इक्वल लेवल पे होंगे। अगर मैं ये स्टैंड पे मैं अगर मार दूंगा तो मेरी क्या रेपुटेशन रह जाएगी?
Very good.
और
Very
मेरा
Fan may also reduce. That was
इट इज ऑल रूइन, मेरा रेपुटेशन पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा अगर
Yes.
मैं यहाँ ये पॉइंट
That is one reason, Mataji. Very good. Any other reason?
Yeah, he also feared going to this Nark.
Or my duration of my life is certainly vanquished.
Yes, yes, very good. That one is also there. And actually, a cruel person is regarded dead even when he is living. वो जिंदा है ना तभी भी वो मरा हुआ है. Why? Because everyone is condemning him. Use condemns him, and then after death he goes to hell, like under tamashra, like that. So therefore he's losing on both the sides. His lifespan will
And he will
diminish.
lose all the opulence also.
He'll lose all the opulence. His lifespan will diminish. Then another, he didn't kill Devaki because she was
सिस्टर थी उनकी,
woman and
ये भी
his
सोचा
sister.
two things. She was
Was a woman and his sister.
yes, and one more woman, sister,
Sister.
And newly married Navodha.
no, now, not newly married. Now she already had six children. We're talking about now.
प्रेग्नेंट
Yes,
की वजह
pregnant. So she was pregnant, she was woman, and she was a sister. So for these three reasons, he did not kill. And one more, last reason, very important reason. Anyone remembers? Something to do with somebody preventing him from within.
या यस 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 माता जी हाँ
Who? Who was preventing him?
कृष्णा
Super soul. Yes. So super soul was preventing him from killing the embryo. So very good. The last question for today is, why cannot Kamsa be called Krishna conscious? Although he was constantly thinking of Krishna, isn't it? Sitting, sleeping, lying down.
Because he worshipped as a pratikul bhav,
Ah,
unfavorable mood.
yes, unfavorably, because he was thinking of Krishna only to kill him. He did not want to worship him, but kill him. And for this pratikul bhav, anything about this pratikul bhav is mentioned mm, uh, in that shloka. Any shloka you remember? We were discussing this shloka. Very important.
Annabhilasheta Shunyam.
Yes, very
Dana
good.
Karmanya.
Can you tell me which word was that? Which will tell that Kamsa
Pratikulena Sevaya, right?
No, Anukula Yena.
Anukulena Sevaya, yeah.
Anukulina. Yes, correct. Anukulina. Thank you very much, dear devotees. It was a wonderful session. Thank you, Charu Prabhu, for giving
Okay,
me this
very
opportunity.
good, very good. You, everybody has done wonderful actually, and especially Mataji, you have done perfect conducting. This is the way actually I wanted recapping to be done, to get involved and lead them with leading question, giving them hint, when they hesitate. So this is the way I wanted that. Okay. So this is the way I think everybody will agree with me. Aren't we learning quite a bit in by that way, that mode? So I give my class, but then we review it. We should review it that
Prabhuji,
way.
by this method, we also remember very fast.
Exactly. That was my hope. Actually. That was my hope. In doing it this way. Okay, now let's do it. Mataji, if it's all right if I continue now, I take it over.
Yes, please, Prabhu. Please. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. So, do you want a short break before I start the next one? Let's have
Maybe.
a short break.
Yeah,
3-minute break. 3-minute break. Because we can consume quite a bit of time.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, have a cup of water or a glass of water or something.
Yes. Sorry, Prabhu, I took too much time.
It's okay. Now we'll see, but it was worth.
बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बन जाता है ऐसे.
Thank you, Benji. Thank you. I really want. I'm trying to promote everyone to participate.
जी भाई जी.
Benji, I'm really impressed by you. I mean, you have been studying every day this lesson.
ज़्यादा कुछ बता भी नहीं पाती हूँ तो वो कैसे.
बहुत कुछ आपने बहुत impressed हुए आपका. I'm really impressed.
मुझे कैसे भाई जी, मुझे नहीं समझ आ रहा कि मैंने ऐसा
अरे आप
कुछ।
ये साफ जाहिर होता है कि आप स्टडी करती है, लेसन सुनती है, बहुत एक्टिवली सुनती है आप।
यस, थैंक यू भाई जी।
या यू वेलकम। So everybody's freshen up, and now we are going to start with a little bit a dose of philosophy, okay? $20 now.
Salted.
All right. I hope everybody's ready now. So now what we are going to be discussing in this book, this is given as an appendix, and this is called Mukhya Prana. Mukhya Prana, as you'll see very shortly, the translation Mukhya means something principal, major. Prana has several meanings in this that we will talk about. Prana it's not just life symptoms, but quite a bit some more that we are going to see here. Okay, so just see the topmost portion, a unified field in the universe. What is meant by unified field? That it really brings all different facets together. That's called unification. In the entire universe, how it is maintained, that also this Mukhya Prana plays a very important role. It has 4 components to it. So there is no material duality in absolute truth. The duality perceived by an ignorant person is like the difference between the sky contained in an empty pot and the sky outside the pot, or the direct difference between the reflection of the sun in water and the sun itself in the sky. So this is the very interesting point here, that when we have a limited vision, we make distinction. So if you see a sky, the sunlight, whether you see it in the sky or the sunlight you see in a pot of water, there is no difference actually. The same sunlight is there. So in the same way, the reflection, the sun in the water and the one in the sky. So that is one has to look from a broader point of view. That is an important element that we are going to be talking about. Okay. So this difference between the vital air within the living body. So vital air, that is what we are going to be talking about, is Mukhya Prana, and that within another body, and how it's going to be unifying, that we are going to see now. Okay, so this particular information is from the 12th canto, 4th chapter, text 30. But this is just for the general information I included here. So what is Mukhya Prana? Okay, so for that you need to remember the Sankhya philosophy that long time back we talked about it. Sankhya philosophy, to quickly review, it means there's a Purusha and then Prakriti. Now here Purusha, we are not talking about ordinary Purusha like you and me. We are also Purusha. Purusha means one who is controller in a limited sense. But the Vishesha Purusha that we learned in the Yoga Sutras, right? Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Vishesha Purusha is beyond time and space. Okay? So he is the one who throws a glance when for the purpose of creation, Srishtikarta, that is Mahavishnu, who throws a glance from distant, from Karna Oshana, to the Prakriti. Prakriti, that is the primeval portion of Prakriti, is called Pradhana. Pradhana means it is not yet activated. And the main reason is the three modes of material nature that are still in a dormant stage. So how does Mahavishnu activates the dormant stage of this Pradhana, which is the primeval portion of Prakriti, by that's what's shown here actually. So here the concept of this Mukhya Prana is a very, very important element. And this is particularly in the Vedanta philosophy, okay? So yes, somebody asking points.
No,
Somebody's microphone is on actually, you know.
Yeah.
Could you turn off your microphone, please? So remember I showed you that there are 4 components in this Mukhya Prana. And they're all tied up together, okay? First of all, of course, there's a prana. Prana means the life symptom, and that is this particular pranavayu. It's also called oxygen, right? That's very vital. That is there, and then there's a sutra. Now we talk many times what is a sutra. Here in a different sense. Sutra really literally means in Sanskrit. Sutra means like a thread which binds. So like in a sort of a you have pearls. You have pearls all connected in a thread, so it puts all the pearls together, right? But if you pull out the thread, all the pearls will disperse, right, on the ground. So this sutra is the element that keeps everything together, okay? And we'll see how it keeps together. So then there is a sutratma. Sutra atma. It's not like that, like a non-living thing. Atma means something living is there. So that portion also we are going to be seeing that. And then there's a vayu. Vayu means like wind, right, in English. But here vayu, the air that is circulating not only outside but within our body also, that also plays a very important functional role, putting all this together. If there is no this life air within the body, then we are gone. We cannot live anymore. So all these 4 elements are important. Okay, so this is central for the one who actually showed develop this concept is actually a person called Vijay Dhwaja Tirtha. The person who developed that, the particular one of the 4 sampradayas that is there is Madhvacharya. So this Madhvacharya is the one who Vishishtadvaita. So this Madhvacharya's disciple is one of the disciples is Vijay Dhwaja Tirtha. He is the originator of this concept of Mukhya Prana. So there's a primeval sutra arose from the 3 gunas. So this is what remember I told you the pradhana, the 3 modes of material nature are in a dormant stage. Now it needs to be activated. Okay, so this sutra, this primal sutra means the beginning of that sutra that arose from these 3 gunas of the Prakriti, along with the Mahat Tattva. So first, Pradhana is going to be activated by Mahavishnu's glands, and the glands composed of what? 3 elements are there. First, the jivas going to be placed in the womb of the Prakriti. Those jivas from the previous cycle who did not uh, uh, purify themselves of their some material wishes, material desires remain unfulfilled. So then at the time of the pralaya, the dissolution of the universe, we go back in the body of Mahavishnu. So in the next cycle, Mahavishnu gives another opportunity for us to purify ourselves. So he puts us back in the womb of material nature, okay, along with the Lord's time potency, okay. And time potency is the one who is going to activate. So as soon as the jivas with their karmas are injected back into the Prakriti, the 3 modes of material nature are going to be activated, okay. And Lord's time potency actually is very important element, and we are going to talk a lot more about it. So that's how the Prakriti Pradhana is going to be activated. Now it's called Mahat Tattva. Okay, so that means all the 3 modes of material nature are going to be activated: Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamaguna. So by the transformation of Mahat Tattva was generated this false ahankara, the cause of the living entity's bewilderment. That place. And again, there are 3 modes, right? If you remember the Sankhya philosophy, from the mode of from Sattva Guna, the buddhi and the mind develops, and from the Rajoguna, all the Gyanendriyas, 5 Gyanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas there, and from the Rajoguna of that portion of that, that's where the Pancha Mahabhutas come into play, and they develop. And Pancha Mahabhuta, then there's a sense objects called Tadamatras that develop. All these things are there. Okay. It's just I'm trying to review it that we discussed a while ago. So Mahat Tattva endowed with this sutra is going to, sutra is again, think about it as a unifying element. It's like a thread is going to put all pearls together in a garland, okay, in a necklace like that, on account of containing jnana and kriya. So both are involved at like karman Gyanendriyas, that's a buddhi element, right? So that is required, Gyanendriya. That's how the senses, which keeps in contact with our environment and is going to transmit that information to the mind through these eyes, ears, nose, and so on like that. There are 5 Gyanendriyas. And then there are 5 Karmendriyas. That is done, action is done by these Karmendriyas, hand, legs, and so on like that. Okay. So that's where the action is required. And for the action, the living symptoms must be there. And all the circulation of the life air throughout the body has to be there. Without that, we cannot even function. So now you're going to understand a little bit, I hope, how these 4 elements are going to unify. And that's the whole concept of Mukhya Prana. So this means that there is only one tattva described in as twofold, because Kriya and Jnana Shakti both are playing an active role. And the Vayu, the life air, is going to play a role, in a functional role in that. So what are those life airs? So there are, this is the senses are prana, the life air. Without that, senses cannot function, okay? And senses cannot keep in touch with the sense objects. So the whole thing just cannot function without that. So the prana is like a king, and the senses are like his officers. The information is going to gather through these senses, okay? So prana is required. Without prana, the senses also cannot work. Prana means the life air circulating. So there are 5 major kinds of life air. And the 5 secondary, what are those 5? This is again reviewing. Most of you already know about it. So there's a prana, it is a breathing. So that's how when we breathe through our nose, and sometimes the mouth also, it enters to the lungs and it oxygenates the blood, right? Without oxygenation of blood, we cannot live, So the prana, that's why it's called pranavayu. That's why it provides the life symptoms because of that. So first, the air gets through this nose and so on like that. So breathing through the mouth or nostrils based on the eyes and the ears, both are required. Okay. And then called apanavayu. Apanavayu means then the life air gets circulated downwards in the body. It goes through the nostrils and sometimes through the mouth also and enters downwards in the body. So that is carried by apanavayu, downward motion. So all this concept, actually modern science doesn't understand this thing. Modern science thinks it's just oxygen, but how it functions, our Ayurvedic science has much detailed information on that. And then Vyanavayu. Vyanavayu means they're located throughout the body, especially in the entire nervous system. If you don't have a functional nervous system, we cannot function. We cannot have these living symptoms. Then Samanavayu circles around the navel and helps the digestion process. Then Udanavayu, located in the throat, it takes nutrition from the areas of the navel up to the head. So now it goes back, upper back again into the brain and so on like that. So these 4, pranavayu, apanavayu, vyana, samana, udana, these are the 5 principal life airs that is understood by that. Then there are 5 secondary life airs, naga, which when we belching things like that, that other that you are expulsion, inhalation and exhalation, right? So this is what this is involved that. Then kurma, opening and closing the eyes. See, that's where also is required. And contracting. Kakara increases appetite. Devadatta, that's when you yawning, etc. Then Dhananjaya causes nourishment. So all these things are required. So this Vayu plays a very important role in keeping the body functional. Life air, life symptoms to function, we need this functional life air in the body. When we die, the life air goes with it, goes with the soul. Okay, now this Vivarta Vada philosophy, which is actually the world is just an illusion. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Shankaracharya's theory, that is defeated by proving the existence of Chitta Shakti in the world. Chitta Shakti means that is the consciousness developed. So that is there. The topic of Mukhya Prana is central in this regard. So there are 2 material Kriya Shaktis are there and 2 transcendental Kriya Shaktis are there. Okay, this particular concept is telling us what are the 2 material Kriya Shaktis. First, the Jnana Shakti. Okay, 5 Jnanendriyas and so on like that, and that's the Buddhi is involved in that. Okay, and then there is the Kriya Shakti. There is a Karmendriyas. There is a prana in the body itself. So the power of the 5 Jnanendriyas is the intelligence through which information from the environment it gathers through eyes, nose, taste, and all these things like that. Okay, the power of the 5 Karmendriyas is prana, the life force in the body. Both buddhi and prana originate from the rajoguna aspect of the ahankara. Remember I told you the false ego, they are developed from 3 gunas, from the sattva portion of the ahankara, is the rajas portion of ahankara, and the tamas portion of it. Satas, from the sattva, rajas, sattva portion of the ahankara comes the buddhi and the mind. Rajas, as I told you, the Gyanendriyas and the Karmendriyas develop, and from the tamasic ahankara, there is comes the Pancha Mahabhutas and the Tanamatras, five Tanamatras. So that is for the material Kriya Shaktis. Now, what are the two transcendental Kriya Shaktis? The first is the time potency, and this obviously is a transcendental. That's the Lord's time potency. Shri Hari Vamsha Purana, it is coming there. And Sridhar Swami Maharaj has a lot of comments on that. And that has a dual nature. The transcendental potency itself and the potency of Yogamaya that we just talked about so much. Yogamaya is also sometimes considered as a Yoga Nidra because it puts a person in the bewilderment, puts like in a sleep, ignorance. Yogamaya, as we all know, is generally to bewilder the devotees of the Lord, and sometimes Krishna also deliberately puts in that so he can have a particular rasas, the 5 kinds of rasas develop between the devotees and the Lord. So Yogamaya, like Yashodamaya, puts into that bewilderment, so that remember that Leela we are going to be talking about, this Damodar Leela would not take place without that. So these are the two time potency, how it works like that. And then there is the second aspect of the transcendental Kriya Shakti is the Jivatma themselves. Okay? And Jivatma, the form of Mahat Tattva endowed with the Jivas. And the Jivas aggregate of that, that's called Hiranya Garbha. Sometimes Lord Brahma is also addressed as Hiranya Garbha because Brahma is the first Jiva. So he represents all the Jivas as an aggregate of that. Okay? The mass of Jivas is subtle, and its body is Mahat Tattva. The Supreme Personal Godhead, what he does, but I told you that he puts the Jivas into the womb of Prakriti. So this aggregate of Jivas, that is Hiranyagarbha, he puts that, impregnates the Pradhana with this Hiranyagarbha, the effulgent Mahat Tattva. So now we are going to see how these 4 elements are going to put together in a function. Okay? So there's the life force, Mukhya Prana. The body stays alive of its own only because of the force of the prana, the life air. Without the circulation of the life air in a functional way, body cannot function. So all beings are strung together. The analogy is that the sutra, the thread. What is a thread? There's putting together everything. That thread puts all the pearls together in the necklace. So here also that should be there, and already we saw the important functional role of the life air. All beings are strung together. Therefore, so this is a verse from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Therefore, O Gautama, the sages say that when a man dies, his limbs were meant to be loosened because the limbs are strung together by this vayu, life air. When we die, the life air leaves with the soul, which is sutra, and the sutra is the binding force. When the thread is removed, the pearls that were strung on it, they become dispersed. Life cannot function, cannot survive. So this vayu, the life air, is doing the function of a sutra or a function of a thread. It's not exactly thread, it's just a functional way, putting together, tying together functionally. That's what called sutra. Okay. That's a thread. It's kind of like for our understanding. It's not like literally there's a thread there, but that's something which ties together, something puts all together in a functional way. That is called sutra. So that's the 1/4 element of this Mukhya Prana. The limbs that were connected by it like pearls on a thread become loosened when Vayu goes away. When the life air goes away, the senses cannot function, the body organs cannot function, and so on like that. And this is Shankaracharya's comment to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So when soul leaves the body with the senses, these senses mean the internal senses, okay? That leaves. Actually, it's the internal senses, and there are specific devas who are the deities of the senses. Our senses that we see, eyes, nose, they're just the external outlet of those senses, which have then been unified in the form of Mukhya Prana. Accompanied with the subtle body, Sthula Sharira, but there's a Sthula Sharira and there is a subtle body. The gross body and the subtle body. Gross body is the Sthula Sharira. I'm sorry. So accompanied with the subtle body, Sthula Sharira, the soul leaves, the subtle body leaves, and subtle body is composed of what? Mano, Buddhi, Ahankar, mind, intelligence, and this false ego. False ego means bodily conception of life. As long as we have these material desires, the translocation of the soul in 14 lokas and the 8.4 billion species of life form, they keep continuing. It's going to accept another body as long as we have that lingering material desires that did not get fulfilled in this particular lifetime. So soul lives along with that. Mana, which stores the memory of all the conceptions, samskaras of this lifetime, as well as previous lifetimes, thousands of lifetimes. This mind stores and it's going to carry on into the next body, okay? Which includes more than prana. The soul, who has a particular consciousness, goes out of the body. So you see that life fair, the Mukhya Prana, that's going to live. So knowledge and karma, as well as the soul's previous weights, all the previous desires and so on like that, take hold of the soul. So in the new body, it's going to be activated again. Is the super soul is going to remind what were your desires? Because as soon as we change this body, we forget everything. Super soul reminds us. So third element, Mukhya Prana, is the life force or the mother nature, what the modern science call, which can spring from inorganic matter as the modern science. But that's just partial truth. Here, spiritual science gives much more information to that. It's material nature, this inorganic elements or organic elements do nothing without the life air being there, functional life air. And the sutra that binds together. Okay, the origin of prana. So here, the Purusha's glance, again, the Sankhya Yoga philosophy, okay? So Purusha throws a glance, and I told you what is involved. Through the glance, the jivas are going to be, along with their karmas, are going to be injected in the womb of material nature with the time potency, okay? So the three modes of material needs to be activated. This is from the third canto. Agitated by time, the Lord infuses this pradhana with Hiranyagarbha, all the jivas, along with the stored karmas. There are multitude of the jivas, that's aggregate, okay? Hiranyagarbha. And then pradhana now becomes mahat tattva. The only difference between the two, in pradhana, the modes are inactive, they are dormant. When they get activated by the time potency of the Lord, and the jivas come into there, okay? With all the karmas are going to be activated. So that is when pradhana becomes Mahat Tattva. And of course, it develops the Ahankara, false ego, and the false ego develop into three modes. Okay, we don't have to go there. So by tapas, that is Lord Vishnu's potency, pradhana is increased. Then this is the concept. This is I was also unaware of it. Here we learned called anna. Anna means food, right? So in a way, it is food. Anna is so called because it is eaten and it eats things. According to Taittiriya Upanishad, Anna means alternatively avyakritam. Avyakritam means unmodified pradhana, the one that is the modes are not yet activated. Okay, which is Chitta Shakti, the consciousness, and then there's a Achitta Shakti, that is matter. So both matter and the consciousness is going to come together. So the form of enjoyer and being enjoyed, respectively. So that is the Anna concept of this is involved. So Anna originates from that, from the Pradhana when it gets activated. Okay? So prana comes from Anna, then the mind, the five elements, the world, and the nearby eternal results in rights come about. So this is from Mundaka Upanishad, and to be honest with you, I am also not very clear about what is this Anna concept is all about. So I need to study, do a lot my homework, But this is what the philosophy says, that the prana comes from the soul. Obviously, that's very, very apparent. Without soul being present, the life symptoms are not there. Okay? So the prana is what is the prana? Means the soul being the Prabhupada says, soul is the symptomatic presence of consciousness, the life symptoms. When the soul lives, the body is dead, inert. So prana, the mind, all the senses, ether, air, light, air, earth, which sustain the world, originate from this Lord Narayana. It's Narayana Upanishad, it is there. So without the Lord's being present, super soul, nothing can do that. That's also important element. So this is the dialogue taking place between Avadhuta Brahmana and Yadu, King Yadu. At the outset of creation, Purusha agitated. So this is what we had just talked about it in this one verse. There is given summary of it. At the outset of creation, Purusha activates his Maya. Maya means this Prakriti, Pradhana, to become Mahat Tattva, composed of the three gunas, and by means of what? The time potency, the jivas, and their karmas. Okay, is absolute, and Lord's absolute power creates the sutra, the binding force. Sutra, just imagine as a binding force keeping together through her. The world is strung together, hold together. That is by the sutra. Just imagine as a thread, but it's not literally as a thread. It's like just the concept for us to understand. But main thing is sutra means is binding together all the elements together, by means of which the living entities revolve in samsara. What is samsara? Repeated birth, repeated death, translocation of the soul through different physical forms of the body, as well as the locations, 14 planetary system. The Lord acts like a spider which emits a web from its interior through its mouth. So this is an analogy, how Lord keeps going, everything coming from the Lord, and everything then goes back in the Lord also. The reason sutra causes samsara is what? What is the reason? The wise say that sexual union is the mutual knot of the hearts of two persons involved. So this Brahma created this Srishti called Maithuni Srishti through sexual reproduction. That's how the whole cycle functions, Okay. What is prana? Prana is Brahman. This is from, here it is given this different Upanishad, but there we also saw in Mandukya Upanishad also, everything is Brahman. So prana is also Brahman. Here's the verse. The higher and the lower Brahman are Omkara. This one Prashna Upanishad. The higher Brahman meaning the real, imperishable, known as Purusha. And the lower, so Purusha, the Vishesha Purusha that we talked about, that's called Para Brahman, where we are also Brahman, but we are limited way. Okay, Para Brahman is that Vishesha Purusha. And the lower Brahman, they're known as Prana, the firstborn Hiranyagarbha, that's the Lord Brahma, and all the jivas, aggregate of that is called Hiranyagarbha. So that is called Omkara. This is Shankaracharya's comments. Prana is Brahman. It's also in Chandogya Upanishad. In the word prana is a conventional term for a particular vayu. Now, this is the again the life air, pranavayu, oxygen, like that. When it is, and we know that the 5 life airs, major life airs, the 5 minor. So it's not just one kind. Life does not cease. So obviously, only pranavaya keeps the life symptoms going. If pranavaya is left the body, then the body is not living anymore. No consciousness in the body. So in that way, prana is also Brahman. Third, in such a conscious, prana means Paramatma, super soul. This is according to Baladev Vidyabhushan comments. So super soul keeps together. Super soul also, in a way, it functions element like sutra. Without super soul being present, nothing can be united. Srila Vyasadeva writes, Deva prana is Brahman, obeisance to Brahman, obeisance to Vayu. You are the direct perceptible Brahman. So prana, so Brahman, as I told you, it's in that prana is also part of that. Mukhya Vayu, Mukhya prana is part of that. For the same reason, ether is called Brahman. This is because the inferential science of Brahman, just as Brahman is referred to as Akasha, Akash is ether, not just sky. In the sense that space is a symbol of Brahman. So everything is Brahman, that Mandukya Upanishad says, right? So that's what all these elements must work in a unifying way. Then the life symptoms function, they survive. Okay, so this is the portion of that remaining was that we didn't get to discuss. So now we'll discuss the next chapter, chapter 3, most important chapter. And I probably will be able to start, but we'll have to continue in the next class. That is tomorrow. Hopefully I'll finish that tomorrow, okay? But let's get it started. At least we have another 15-20 minutes. So I want to get that. Okay, so this is the 3rd chapter, a very, very important chapter. So now we are going to hear about the entry of Lord Shri Krishna, okay? Krishna Janma. All the, so far we were discussing about the prelude to Krishna's appearance. Now Krishna is appearing, everything is set, the stage is set. So these are the themes, 5 themes are there in this chapter. During the 8th month of pregnancy, both Devaki and Yashoda simultaneously gave birth to Krishna at the same time. Now, Bhagavatam doesn't talk about it, but Sukadeva Goswami does mention in an indirect way, and I'll give you those references, those indirect way Sukadeva Goswami reveals that, okay? But it is Rupa Goswami who has written many articles, and it is so many articles today I'm going to give you, and we'll continue in the 5th chapter also. And so mass of people are totally unaware that Krishna also took birth from the womb of Yashoda Maya. And that is the original Krishna, Vrindavan Krishna, who never leaves Vrindavan. Whereas we saw Devaki Garbha, Krishna who came is expansion, Vasudev Krishna. And then the important hymns of first Vasudevji's offering and then Devaki's offering. Then Lord reminded Vasudevji and Devaki why Devaki's he took part as Vasudev Krishna for a reason, and that reason is from their previous 2 births. There also they perform severe austerities for the sole purpose and they worship Lord Vishnu. That's why Lord Vishnu appeared. To their desire was to have Lord Vishnu as their son, like his son, like Lord Vishnu Dev. But there is no like, there's only Vishnu, Lord himself. So Lord himself appears, and this lifetime, when he appeared with his 4-arm form. And actually, I'm going to tell you right now, it is the Mahavishnu form. Okay, so that 4-arm Mahavishnu form, original Lord Vishnu appeared with full all his potencies and everything, limited to Lord Vishnu, and that we are going to talk about it. That's an issue, quite a serious one, and we must have a clear understanding of that. That we'll talk about it probably tomorrow. So Lord reminded Vasudeva and Devaki in this 4th theme their 2 previous incarnations, okay, in which they prayed for him to have appear as their son. First is the Prishni Garbha, and then the Vaman Dwarf incarnation to Aditi and Kashyapa, and how this Vamana Avtara cheated Bali Maharaj, who had taken up the kingdom of the Devas to return back to Devas. That's where Vaman Deva Avatar took place. The 5th theme is ordered by the Lord Vasudeva, exchanges Vasudev Krishna born to Devaki, because it was he was ordered by the Lord himself when he appeared his 4-arm form with all the 4 emblems, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Mugata, Srivatsa, and the Kaustubha jewel. Everything's not of this world, it's straight from the spiritual world. That's how Lord Vishnu appeared. And then Devaki was afraid of Kamsa, so she praised him to please appear as a normal human baby, 2-arm form. So that's when he does that, but he tells Vasudevji to please go and take me to Gokula, where Yashoda has already delivered a Yoga Maya. So you bring back here and leave me there. So there's the exchange. So that portion we'll talk about it. Probably not today, but tomorrow. So here, we still have 10 minutes. So this is the first 12 verses of this chapter 3. During the 8th month of pregnancy, so this was by design. And Kamsa was very particular about that. And he instructed. Remember, I told you that they were in house arrest, Vasudevji and Devaki. But when the when the time came for the Ashtam Garbha to appear, at that time, the everything become very, very strict now. They were put into the shackles, iron shackles, and they constantly watched. And to make sure exactly when this Ashtam Garbha will appear, Kamsa had his jail guards to particularly watch when was the last menses, so they can precisely calculate when the Garbha will, when the Krishna will be delivered. So that's to fool him, to bewilder him. Here, Krishna appeared in the 8th month of pregnancy, when it was still immature. That was for a reason, you know. So during the 8th month of pregnancy, both the same time, both Devaki and Yashodamaya both became pregnant just around the same time, and they both delivered Krishna. To Devaki, it is Vishnu form, the Vasudev Krishna form. There is the Chaturvya expansion of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna as a Chaturvya, so it's called Vasudev Krishna. And the original Krishna, as he exists in Goloka Vrindavan, that Yashoda Maya delivered in Gokula right around the same time. And so Krishna appeared exactly around midnight in the Krishna Paksha, that is the when the moon is waning, waning versus waxing. Waxing is the Shukla Paksha. This is the darker period. So this is the 8th day, Ashtami, Krishna Ashtami, and that happened to be at that time Wednesday. Precisely, it is given that, you know, that's when Krishna appeared. To Devaki, it's Vasudeva Krishna, Chaturvya expansion. To Yashoda, exactly the original Krishna that he exists in Goloka, 2-arm form. So during the 8th month of pregnancy, both Devaki and Yashoda simultaneously gave birth to Krishna at the same time. This is according to Harivamsha Purana. So Krishna, the son of Gopi, let me make a full slide. There are a lot of important informations are there. So today I'm going to give you this important introduction of this slide, but we are going to discuss at length tomorrow. So I don't want to do it in a hurried way. You know, so there are a lot of important elements there we need to learn, and many of people, they don't know some of the things that we are going to be discussing here. Okay? Krishna, the son of Gopi. So this is the how it is given indirectly. Most people say that there is no information is given in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam only talks about Devaki, and in a way it is yes, but Sukadeva Goswami did give some hints in an indirect, and those are the specific verses that I'm going to give you that is there in Gopal Champu. That's Sukadeva Goswami, I'm sorry, Rupa Goswami talks about it. So Gopal Champu's writer is Jiva Goswami, of course. You know, he done a lot of research. So being such a confidential matter, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned this fact rather indirectly. And these are the verses are there. 5th chapter, we'll be talking more about it. Verse 9, 16. And then 6th chapter, verse 43. Then also there are other references are there, mainly from Gopala Champu, Narada Pancharatra, and so on like that. Krishna, the son of Gopi, the son of Nanda. See, all these things are given there in an indirect way. Yogamaya stayed in Yashoda's womb while Krishna in her heart. I told you that when first Krishna entered in the heart or the mind of Vasudevji, Vasudevji meditatively introduces that to Yashoda Maya, or where Vasudevji mind heart transmitted to Devaki. When there in Gokula, it was Nanda Baba's heart and mind. First Krishna appeared, and then he transmitted Nanda Baba to Yashoda Maya's heart and the mind that he transmitted. So that's how Krishna comes, you know. he couldn't possibly have had an umbilical cord at a time. And that, again, we are going to be talking about 5th chapter. That's one of the several elements to prove that Krishna did appear in Gokula to Yashoda Maya. Okay? Because Jata Karma was obviously not done in the jailhouse, prison house of Kamsa. And that's where also Yogamaya performs an important function here. So here it's given, he couldn't possibly have had an umbilical cord at that time, but we know Krishna was transferred from prison house by Vasudevji, by his order, by the Lord's order, to Gokula in the four-arm form. Devaki requested him in that hymn, we will see that. She prayed to Krishna that please don't make it so that Kamsa should not know that you took birth from me. So this four-arm form is not like a normal human baby. So please appear as like a normal human baby. So because of her appeal, because of her fear of Kamsa, Krishna, right in front of Devaki and Vasudevji, right in front of them, he transferred himself into the two-arm form, baby form. Okay, so that's where. So one would be worried about where is the umbilical cord issue come there. So that also is being discussed right there. Okay, we'll talk about it. So it was again there also Yogamaya performed that function, made him look like he had an he had an umbilical cord. It looked like by bewilderment to Nanda and others. This is again given in Gopala Champu. Just when this is now given exactly when Krishna is going to appear. So just his appearance become imminent. The unborn Krishna appears to take birth. Okay, and that was a Rohini Nakshatra. All the winds, time, everything become very, very auspicious. Rohini Nakshatra also someone of the Brahma's birth. And it turns out, the reference I found, that Lord Brahma also incidentally appeared from Lord Narayana, Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu, also exactly in the Rohini Nakshatra. So from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and who does not have a material birth, Ajana Bhav. So Krishna's birth is not material birth like you and me, you know. Yeah, and the verse says that Ajana. Ajana means without one who is unborn. They appear to take birth. Bhavati Jaimane Janardane. Jana Ardana. Jana means public. Ardana means the enemy of the people. And that's Lord Brahma. He requested Krishna to appear. All the devas, remember we went through that, how they went to the milk ocean, bank of milk ocean. From there, they prayed, and Kshirodaksha Vishnu transmitted information when Mother Earth was terribly worried about all the demoniac personalities, and the armies gathered, all these things. So Kshirodaksha Vishnu transmitted the message of Krishna himself to Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma transmitted to all the devas all the orders that given to them. Devas are supposed to take birth in the Yadu dynasty and so on like that. And all the goddesses must also take birth in the Yadu dynasty and also in Golok Vrindavan and so on like that. Some of them, not all, many of them came from straight from the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan Dham. Some of the gopis were actually were the goddesses, you know, but many of them in the Yadu dynasty. And then, so here it says, Yari. Yari means when. The birth constellation, the Rohini Nakshatra, also this has happened. Brahmaji also does not have material birth, because there was no woman involved in that. Just straight from Garbhodaksha Vishnu. That's why Lord Brahma sometimes is called Swayambhu. Appeared right then, then what happened? The time became endowed with all auspicious qualities. His avirbhav means his appearance. so-called birth, but it's not so-called, it's not a real birth in a way, occurred at midnight, precisely at midnight in the 8th month. And that happens to be Wednesday, see right here. So when the pregnancy had not reached maturity, this is particularly to cheat Kamsa, to bewilder him. Because Kamsa and others, his group, they were precisely watching, even they knew exactly when the last menses of Devaki, so they can calculate exactly when the 9th month will be completed. So this happened way before, 8th month, a month before. So Kamsa was taken completely by surprise, you know. And that's where this transfer took place. Vasudeva Krishna, Krishna asked Vasudeva to take him and deliver, exchange with the daughter delivered by Yashoda Maya, right when Yashoda Maya delivered Krishna himself also, right? At right around exactly midnight, just like Devaki delivered. And few moments later, Yogamaya took birth as per the arrangement by the Lord. And Yogamaya was, Vasudevji was to take her back to prisons, so that Kamsa would be told that they were expecting boy, but now turned out a girl. So Devaki actually praised to Kamsa that why you are going to kill this girl. Your Akashvani said it was Ashtam Garbha, right? He misinterpreted it. Ashtam Garbha, the Akashvani did not specify it was going to be a boy. Ashtam Garbha just 8th child. So here 8th child happened to be a girl by this secret arrangement. So and Kamsa tried to kill her, but she escaped from his hands, and then tells him, "Oh, stupid! The one who is going to kill you has already taken birth elsewhere." You know. Then later on, we'll see that Narad Muni reveals everything to Kamsa. That your person who is going to kill you is now being taken care by Nanda Baba in Gokula and so like that. That's where he sends all the asuras, beginning with Putana and so on like that. So his Avir Bhava appearance occurred at midnight on the 8th month when the pregnancy had not reached maturity to cheat Kamsa and others. And it was Krishna Ashtami. That was the waning portion of the moon. You know? It was Wednesday in the month of Bhadra. And these are all the comments of our Acharyas. And it was the four-arm Vishnu poem, Mahavishnu, actually directly appeared in Devaki's womb. And the complete fullness of all amshas. Now, this is where the amsa bhagen is there. And here I'm going to stop here because the time is up. And these are important elements I want to talk to you about. So let's continue tomorrow. Because these are very, very important elements are there now. We are going to talk about it, okay? So with your kind permission, I'll stop here and see if there are any questions, comments. I want to make sure you all understood everything, you know. Now we are going to go a little bit slow, and that's why I'm running behind. But it's more important to understand than to completely strictly stick to our class schedule. So that is going to be tentative, and it is going to change as we go along, okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
But this discussion period is also very important. So whatever we discuss, as you can understand, both myself, Sharad Prabhuji, Ashina Mataji, Samata Mataji, we are all going to make sure that you understand at least the major concept before we keep on progressing forward, okay? Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, it's open for discussion.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So nice, both the first part which you gave, Manduk Upanishad, those Vayu and all that, we are not aware, but you took us through. Yeah. Sometimes it's important to understand, not a story or this thing, but understand it's other people talking, right? Yeah, philosophy part. That's you did perfectly. So nice. Coming back to here, Prabhuji. it's better to go slowly and understand the basic concept as you are emphasizing again and again. That makes really a sense. Some of the things we just talk about how the Lord is born and few things, but you are going in more details and giving how Acharya feels. It gives a lot of information.
Yeah.
Now,
And these
just last,
are you don't get it studying from just Bhagavatam.
correct. So another part, my question is coming here. Just now you mentioned that all like born in 8 month instead of 9 month, 10 month, and all that just to bewilder. So many things are happening. But eventually, this was also revealed to them that this is what played with you. So it is a playing in both hands. One is hiding, another is explaining also. So how you see these two together, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, this was all done by Krishna and his Yogamaya. Yogamaya plays a very, very important role here, and Krishna gives precise guidance information to her, and she's functioning exactly like that. And see, this is all this bewilderment comes chosen precisely because Krishna was carrying out the request by Brahma, right, for the earth. Bharavatara. Bharavatara means the weight of all the sinful asuras. That's why. So all this arrangement was done precisely because of that to bewilder Kamsa. Okay, and so that Krishna could be transferred to Gokula, and there he could be raised.
So that is one part, understandable, Prabhuji. My other part is that this was also revealed to Kamsa, right? By Narad Muni comes and says, this is what has happened. So why that
reveals,
second part?
and that's how the reason was given. Narada wanted to expedite this process. When Kamsa was little bellowing down, remember he let the first newborn Kirtiban that Vasudevji, as he promised, delivers to Kamsa, and he knew the Kamsa is going to kill him. But then Kamsa become little bit compassionate. Then why should I kill this baby? The Akashvani said it's the eighth child. I don't want to kill. Go take him back. So Narad Muni became worried that it's going to be postponed for too long, and he wanted to make sure Kamsa keep on committing more and more sins. So Krishna will come quicker. That was the arrangement. So all this thing happened because of that. Even then later on we learn Narada also reveals to him Krishna already took birth in Gokula. Yeah. Precisely he tells him that Krishna is being brought up in Gokula. That's why he said Putra and Bakasura and Tranavrata and all this asuras. So and they should learn, if he had intelligence, he should learn how this little baby could kill powerful demons. But he did not get the sense out of it. Like Ravana. Ravana was a Mahan Pandita, right? Great knowledgeable person. He was a great Shiva Bhakta. Still, his buddhi got mesmerized and he kidnapped Sita Mata,
Yeah, Prabhuji, just one on the same topic as we are, you are explaining. So we understand the previous 6 children, who were there and the stories we heard. Now, in this case, also when Narad Muni comes and said Krishna, or the Yogamaya says that the Krishna has already taken a birth, right? The child. So he kills so many people, so many children of that similar age.
Krishna, remember, Earth requested Bharavatara, right? So all these demons had to be killed. This was the pretext by which Krishna killed all of this one by one. And then all the demoniac kings, Drupada, Jarasandha, all these people were there. Also powerful enemies, powerful armies were there. So all this thing, and then ultimately Mahabharata war. All this was precisely calculated by Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji, my question was the small children, when Krishna was born, the contemporary children, they were also killed, right? Many children were killed. So what was there, do we have any information who were they, why they were killed also?
Many little children, newborn babies were killed right around the time Krishna was born, But it was just like this Shadagarbha, I'm sure there must be a story behind that. I don't know, maybe Sharat Prabhu will know that. But Shadagarbha, they were actually the Asuras. Remember, we heard the story.
Yeah.
And ultimately, when everything was cleared, then Kamsa was killed, Ugrasena was released, Devaki Mata Vasudeva were released, and Krishna, that's when she requests Krishna to please bring back my 6 children that Kamsa killed. And he again goes back and brings back those. Then ultimately they were restored back ultimately they were from they were demigods in a way originally, but they were cursed to appear there.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare
So it
Krishna,
was
Prabhuji.
very precise planning, the entire thing that you are going to hear. Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. Prabhuji, regarding the birth of Yogamaya and Krishna, Gokul Krishna, it says that in your slide, I mean, even in Bhagavatam, like, says that they were born just in a difference of few moments.
Yeah.
And it's like a twin children born, like, twins, when they are born, there is just...
But it's a little bit time. That's why Yogamaya is called Anuja. Anuja means the younger sister of Krishna.
Correct,
and she was born few moments before. Remember the Ashtami, it was right around midnight. Few minutes after then become Navami. So she was born in Navami.
Oh, so just a few moments,
Ashtami.
like twin
She was
children.
born in
Yeah,
Navami.
so one after another they were born.
Yeah. So when Krishna sends Vasudevji to Gokula to carry this Vasudeva Krishna baby form, right around that time, Yashoda delivered Yogamaya. But she was totally unconscious because of the labor pain and all these things. And she did not remember the gender of the child she had delivered, And when Vasudevji came with this Vasudeva Krishna, he takes this little girl who was Yogamaya and puts it back there near Yashodabaya. So when next day when Yashodabaya woke up, she did not realize. She thought that Krishna was his child. And so the original Krishna was there. Vrindavan Krishna, one who exists in Goloka.
Yes.
With Vasudeva Krishna merged, Rupa Goswami says, he
both of
merged
them
the form together. So in that Vasudeva Krishna does all the killing of the Asuras.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Gokula,
I was just having...
Then in Mathura.
I was just having this doubt in material science, like the doctors say that the first embryo that's conceived comes out the last, on the delivery time. But this is the other way around in the spiritual...
Remember, this is the normal way, right? But Krishna doesn't appear normal way.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
It's not doesn't mean that Yashodamaya conceived Yogamaya first, not like that. Krishna, the original Krishna was already born exactly at the same time Devaki delivered Vasudeva Krishna. Exactly at the same time. So Yogamaya appeared few minutes after, so it then already become Navami. Ashtami was when Krishna came.
The tithi changed just in a few moments.
Few moments, yes. So it was almost like a twin sister in a way,
So Prabhuji, Yogamaya also comes from the heart of the Yashoda Maya?
Yeah, it's also mentioned she is also unborn. She never takes birth. Just like Krishna never takes birth, but appear to take birth. Yogamaya also exactly like that. The verse itself says she was also unborn, taking birth.
तो प्रभु जी जो लेबर पेन दिखाया है वो सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए.
I'm sorry, what?
तो जो लेबर पेन वगैरह आप कहते हैं ना कि
ये सब
वो दिखाने के लिए
part of Leela, It's part of Leela.
Right.
Krishna appeared the heart. And later on, it's described this from the womb. So delivered, and even mentioned that because of the labor pain, Yashoda Maya did not remember who the gender of the child she delivered. So what does labor pain means? It like that, but it's not exact. It's very difficult for us to understand because we are dogmatized the way humans take birth, So we cannot understand Krishna's Leela, how it actually happened, Unborn, but appears to take birth. He appeared in the heart, but then gets in the womb and delivered. So it's difficult. So we have to understand the way it is given, accept it. Our material logic doesn't work our material logic cannot work when it comes to Krishna. That's how God is by definition, that our material science cannot understand. Only bhaktya mam abhijanate.
प्रभु जी दूसरा भी एक क्वेश्चन है कि जो मुख्य प्राण जो है वो कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल 10 प्राण्स और प्राणास और ओनली प्राण
it's part of all the pranas are included in that. Mukhya prana is the one which the principle, and that keeps all together. So it's much more than those 10 airs that we just talked about, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's the 4 components of Mukhya prana. It's not just the life air, vayu, but also the sutra, all the 4 elements that I described to you, all that are involved.
तो प्रभु जी मध्वाचार्य श्रीपाद मध्वाचार्य जो है वो इनकारनेशन ऑफ
उनका शिष्य था, उन्होंने ये डेवलप किया है, सो तत्ववाद फिलॉसफी।
मगर उनका श्रीपाद मध्वाचार्य जो है वो भी एक इनकारनेशन ही है ना, मुख्य प्राण का इनकारनेशन है, भीम और हनुमान जी।
वो मुझे पता नहीं है, अभी शायद शरद प्रभु जी को पता होगा, मुझे पता नहीं। शरद प्रभु, डू यू नो?
यस, वायु,
राइट प्रभु जी।
Okay, any other points, questions?
प्रभु जी भाद्र मंथ इज अ श्रावण मंथ प्रभु जी? भाद्र मंथ
श्रावण के बाद आता है भाद्रवा।
तो फिर अष्टमी तो श्रावण मंथ में आती है, मतलब अलग अलग कैलेंडर वाइज होता होगा।
ये appeared Bhadra month, Now there is generally is like August or something like that. Now I don't know.
આપણે ગુજરાતી મહિનો જે હોય જેમાં શ્રાવણ મહિનામાં આવે છે।
ના, આમાં તો ભાદરવો મહિનો કહે છે।
હા, that is little confusing.
Yeah. At that time, remember we are talking about 5,000 years ago.
जनरली આપણે શ્રાવણ મહિનામાં ઉજવીએ છીએ ને કૃષ્ણ જન્મોત્સવ।
આમાં તો ક્લિયરલી લખ્યું છે ભાદરવા મંથમાં।
હા, ભાદરવા મંથ લખ્યું છે। शरद प्रभु जी प्लीज તમે આમાં इनके विषय ज्यादा बताएंगे प्लीज प्रभु जी, शरद प्रभु जी।
What Raksha Mata ji, you are asking, when did Krishna take birth?
प्रभु जी मंथ जो है यहाँ पे भाद्र मंथ बताया है, मगर हम जनरली जो सेलिब्रेशन होता है वो श्रावण मंथ में आता है। अष्टमी, श्रावण मंथ की अष्टमी आती है, तो फिर भाद्र मंथ तो कैसे समझे प्रभु जी, वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है।
Okay, I also have to give a thought.
Because Bhagavatam clearly says it was Bhadra month, Okay, so Rakshamata ji, we have to accept what Bhagavatam says, right?
Yes, Prabhu ji, yes, 100%. But generally એવું હોય છે પ્રભુ જી કે 15 દિવસનો ડિફરન્સ હોય છે।
Question to some senior devotees,
Okay, Prabhu ji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, Benji, बोलिए।
Question हम ये कहते हैं कि ओरिजिनल कृष्णा वो ब्रज में ही रहे हैं.
He never leaves Braj.
तो ये गोपिकाएं जो थी ये इतना वियोग में थी तो वो क्यों थी फिर?
We talked about in Gopal Champu classes, Krishna has a manifest pastimes and unmanifest pastimes.
अच्छा.
Manifest pastimes, then everybody can see all the conditioned souls. Unmanifest pastimes, he's there, but we cannot see him.
Okay.
So even Radharani suffered separation. Krishna was there. So these are things that is we have to accept what Shastra says, So Krishna is both manifest and unmanifest time. And remember, when somebody leaves from one place to another place, that doesn't mean that the original place that person is not there.
Oh, okay.
Then because so when Krishna, so there are three pastimes, right? Braja pastimes, Mathura pastimes, and Dwarka pastimes. So when Krishna leaves one place to another place, that does not mean the other places he is not there. Then becomes his unmanifest pastime. Mathura also, Krishna is eternally there, and so is Dwarka. He is eternally there.
Okay.
But Mathura and Dwarka, it is the Vasudeva Krishna. Okay, it's expansion. Whereas original Krishna, Golok Vrindavan Krishna, he never lives Braja. Braja is exact replica of Goloka. And not only Krishna, but his eternal associates, they also remain there. And Krishna has eternal pastimes, unmanifest pastimes are there. So only his advanced devotees can visualize that. Okay, any other questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanush Pranam. Audible. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very wonderful pastime class. So I had one question. Probably I missed out when you explained, or I was disconnected. You explained about Mukhya Prana. What is the relation of that whole? I understand the topic. What I don't understand is what is the relation of that topic with chapter 2 we covered. Is it an appendix?
It's given actually, it's not part of Bhagavatam. It is given in this particular book where all the Acharyas comments are there. The book is called Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, a symphony of commentaries on the 10th canto. So that's where, beginning with 3rd chapter onwards, these appendixes are given, some important concepts are there, So Mukhya Prana is, I thought that was important. That's why I'm not going to do it all the appendices, only that which I think is relevant. And Mukhya Prana, it sort of touched my heart, how all these 4 elements of Mukhya Prana, they work in concert. So I was, from that point of view, it interested me. There's the one which we are going to do, I think in the 4th chapter, that talks about, because a lot of people are having misconception. Krishna, when say he has a blackish complexion, but it's not blackish complexion. It's actually in Sanskrit, it's called Krishna Paksha, Krishna Varna, and that's not necessarily it's blackish. He had a deep dark blue complexions. So that appendix is given, explains in a much more greater detail with scriptural references. So that's one which I'm going to do it.
I see. But there is, I mean,
so he has a dark blue complexion.
Yeah, so that's clear now that this is coming.
And when Vasudevji, when he saw his newborn baby, and there it's given Sanskrit word verse is there. It's like a blue flower, blue lotus, deep blue lotus.
Meghavarna.
Meghavarna is the rainy clouds, right? That's also not exact. It's considered like Meghavarna, but that's also not. Meghavarna is the cloud, rainy cloud is not exactly bluish cloud, but it's bluish grayish, that kind of.
And
So that-
one more question,
हाँ,
sorry.
बोलिए.
Yeah. One more question, Prabhuji, that this Mukhya Prana, which is the prana or this different Vayu, they still are part of
It's not
gross
just
body.
Vayu,
What?
it's not just this life, 10 life years. It's much more than that. I told you about the 4 elements, right?
Yes. But they continue to be part of gross body, not the subtle body, right? Like the
No,
subtle
not
body.
necessarily. We just talked about, right? It has this 2 kinds of Kriya Shaktis. 2 kinds of material Kriya Shaktis, that is where there. But then there are 2 kinds of transcendental potencies are there. So there it is, the time potency is one of them, and the Jiva Shakti. Jivas are spiritual forms anyway. Then called the Jivatma. Jiva soul having a material body, that's called Jivatma. But the soul is all spiritual. So that transcendental potency, even Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also talks about, right? That I have the superior energy, there is this Jivas.
Right.
So material energy, this man, buddhi, all this is there, but then even superior than that, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, these Jivas are my superior energy. And there that is means the souls, spirit souls, not his body. When we say Jivatma and Jiva, there's a difference. Jiva means particularly the souls, but Jivatma, the one who takes a material body, there is this material body is there.
Okay. Those who come to material world are Jivatma.
Yeah.
So those are like the
when they have this material body and the life air is required for that, that's where the Mukhya Prana plays a role. So I think that's where you seem to have confused about that. It's only pertain to only the material body, but it's not necessarily, because there's a transcendental potencies involved there too to get this functional life going on. Even a material life survive, we need a spiritual element in it.
Right.
Without Paramatma being present in our heart, we cannot function. The body cannot function. The soul must constantly receive the guidance from the Paramatma.
Okay, let me ask the question a little differently.
Okay.
So I will put 2 questions. Please hear me, because first let me complete the full question. So 2 questions. What is the difference between Mukhya Prana and Paramatma? Question 1. Question 2. What is the role of Mukhya Prana when Pradhana is transformed into, what is it? There was 2 things say that initially it is Pradhana. Mahatattva. Yeah. What is the role of Mukhya Prana in that? Thank you.
That's where we learned that the activation of this Pradhana, the activation means the activation of the modes, 3 modes of material nature, from its dormant stage to active stage, when the jivas with their karmas along with the time potency involved. So when the time potency, that's the spiritual element comes into play. Transcendental energy.
But what is the role of Mukhya Prana in that, and what is the difference between Mukhya Prana and
Prana plays a role in order it because the jivas has to function, right? Living symptoms has to come. That comes from this Mukhya Prana.
Okay. So Pradhana does not have Mukhya Prana when it becomes Mahatattva. So Pradhana does not have Mukhya Prana. When it becomes Mahatattva, then Mukhya Prana.
Yeah, but Pradhana to become Mahatattva by its own, it cannot do it. The Lord has to enter in it as Paramatma, right?
Got it. So then what is the...
Nothing,
yes, so
even
then
we saw when we discussed about creation, even the last stage, the combining elements, that time also Paramatma was required.
Correct. That I understand, Prabhu. So now that's my next question. What is the difference between Paramatma and Mukhya Prana? Or are they the same?
That's where the the Mukhya Prana, the transcendental potency is required. Both are required. Kriya Shakti, there is a material Kriya Shakti, two kinds of it. And then there is a transcendental potency. So there, the time potency of the Lord is required. So this, in order everything to work, even this Mukhya Prana we are talking about, in order to get it functional, we need a spiritual element in it. That's where the Lord is coming to play. He is going to keep all this thing, what we call sutra. And remember, we also saw everything is Brahman. When we talk about Brahman, who is Brahman means the living entity, right?
Correct.
When we talk just body, there's a non-living. Living, when it's considered living, the soul enters. And soul is a spiritual element. And then soul to function, we need Paramatma. So
I think I
everything is
understand.
tied, both spiritual elements and material elements. Material elements cannot function without spiritual element is there.
I got it. So is it correct to say that Mukhya Prana, so Paramatma is energetic and Mukhya Prana is one of the energy? Will that be a correct statement?
I have to think about it, but I think it's probably it sounds right. Yeah. The functioning element of Mukhya Prana, that's when the transcendent element is required. Functioning element.
I see. I think, yeah, okay. I think that makes
Sutra.
sense. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry. Please go ahead, Prabhu. Sorry.
No.
So Prabhuji, in that case, everything is working in hand. ये है तो ये भी जरूरत है.
I was just about to speak that hand in hand word, exact precise word. I was just about to say, then you just said it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Without both material and spiritual, both has to work together. And material elements without spiritual element being there is nothing but dead body.
Right.
The consciousness is because of the soul, right? So prana vayu is to function in that we need Paramatma. We cannot imagine any living symptoms without Paramatma being present.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Much.
Modern science does not talk about it, right? Modern science, they take the spiritual element completely separate, and they think everything is a machine. Machine has to work by itself, but it's nothing like that. No machine will work without a soul being present. This artificial intelligence we are talking about. I'm sure there also must be like that, some element. Remember, the artificial intelligence is a big thing going on nowadays.
Yeah, Prabhuji, just think of it in a minute. Just word itself is artificial intelligence. So it's artificial. That means a real intelligence is there behind. So
yeah,
it cannot work. Yes, it is very miraculous, but there is some program.
But just because it's artificial, it cannot do those wonders without some spiritual element being present there. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we are almost time up now, so we'll continue tomorrow. And Sharad Prabhuji, we are running late, okay? And I'm just worried about November. By the time you probably will be second, so I'm not sure you'll be able to deliver those classes. Think about, we'll see. And right around that time, this semester and exams also going to be there. So I'm also going to be very busy. I had to write 2 very important essays, 3 courses actually. Okay, so let's conclude the class. So we'll continue this discussion. This discussion will not end, remember, and that is a lifeline. Just because questions are popping up in your mind, I feel that is the success of the whole thing that we are doing. I feel very encouraged when you ask questions like that. Raksha Mataji,
हाँ, Lalita Mataji, please do. Lalita Mataji.
Lalita Priya Mataji. She may have left.
Okay. Archana Mataji, want to do? Otherwise, I will do. Okay,
I can do
will.
Mataji. Sorry.
Okay, please, Mataji.
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahladaladadaine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Ito Nasimha Parato Nasimha Yato yato yami tado narsimha Bahe narsimha Rudaye narsimha Narsimha madhim Sharanam prapade Tava kara kamala vare Nakha adhuta shringa Dalita hiranyakashipu Tanu bringa केशवद्रेता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय भक्तराज श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय असंबल वैष्णवास की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I look forward to see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be very, very exciting. There are very, very important concept we are going to discuss tomorrow, okay? This Amsa Bhagena, that there's a deep philosophy involved there. We'll be talking about that, okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Dandat
Prabhuji.
pranam. Dandat pranam,
Prabhuji, thank
Saraswati
you
ji.
so
Dandat
much.
pranam to
Hare
all.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam.
Sorry, Sharad Prabhuji, I didn't get time to give you the time today. Tomorrow we'll have, okay?
Yes.
Because this discussion took place so much long,
Yes.
Hare Krishna. My apology for that.